What up, everybody? This is your boy Dedrian Colon from House of Wrestling. This is my review for the April 22nd episode of AEW Rampage. Like, share, comment, subscribe, follow House of Wrestling on all social media platforms. Follow me, Dedrian180, on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And also give this video a thumbs up on YouTube. Man, this episode of AEW Rampage, how do I explain this episode? Because, outside of AEW and professional wrestling, we also have two NBA playoff games going on. With me being in Chicago, I was watching the Bucks and Bulls game while I was watching SmackDown, and then transitioned to Rampage. Interesting to see the ratings in spite of the playoff competition. For me, that Bulls game was garbage. Like at the second half, and I believe the second half started once Rampage was starting, so I'm just like, you know what, let me watch this. So it came at a right time to just watch this. Overall, man, this episode of AEW Rampage wasn't too bad, but at the same time, I'm not going to be overly critical because it wasn't necessarily what I'm accustomed to with AEW Rampage. But it was solid action, fast-paced, quick, to the point. A few spots they could have worked on the editing, went too quick. But overall, it was a fun match, or a fun night. We got some answers as far as who's advancing into tournaments. But man, overall, it was a fun show, especially if you were a Bulls fan and you were in Chicago and you had to watch that freaking horrible game between the Bucks and Bulls being blown out. This was a nice, you know what, let me watch something else. And it saved the day for me as a Bulls fan. A Chicago Bulls fan, that is. But man, it started off with Adam Cole and Ishii from New Japan in the Owen Hart tournament. This was a solid match. It was very different from... How do I say it? Not so much very different, but it was hard for me to get my expectations up considering the contrast in styles. Adam Cole is more your, you could say, speed, quickness, super kick, boom, 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 boom. Running the gun, bouncing off everything. And Ishii's just a powerhouse. Had the privilege of seeing him in Suzuki in Chicago last weekend. So it was like, man, how is this match going to play out? Because it's a combination I don't think we've seen ever. If we have, very limited times we've seen this. But man, this was a solid match. The crowd was, of course, chanting Cole and Ishii. This comes on the heels of the announcement of the New Japan AEW Super Show on June 26th at the United Center in Chicago. But man, this was really good. I was surprised to see a lot of moves that Ishii did in this match. A lot of counters, speed. I think it's because we're so used to seeing Ishii in these big matchups where it's power for power, and we rarely see him with someone, with speed and technique like Adam Cole. More so here in the States, and it's just like, oh man, this is pretty intense. He did not deliver a lot of forearms to the head and everything like he's accustomed to. Again, the opponents that he usually faces are, very big opponents, so he's using the forearm just very quick and agile and everything, which was really good. I'm gonna see that match again because it caught me by surprise. Like, oh wow, he's using that move. Oh wow, he countered Adam Cole in this. Oh wow. But man, there was a great suplex that Ishii did off the top rope. That was a thing of beauty, man. It wasn't just a quick suplex. It was just a boom, and then just very slow and just so good. Then there was a counter of Insiguri's between Adam Cole and Ishii. Then out of nowhere, and at ringside was Rocky Romero with Ishii. Later on in the match, you get Jay White. Yes, Jay White, leader of the Bullet Club, come out. He attacks Rocky Romero. While he's attacking, the refs, watching this and telling him, get out of here, get out of here. Adam Cole low blows Ishii. Then he performs the boom. The sunrise. Forgive me, guys. It's been a long day. Adam Cole gets the win. He walks up the ramp and he's with Jay White, and they're, raising each other's hands. And I thought that was really interesting because, of course, Jay White came out on Dynamite and said this is about the Undisputed Elite and the Bullet Club. I am really intrigued with what the hell is going to happen with this. I know the obvious thing is, it's going to be, one big faction. There's just so many twists and turns as far as where is this going to go. Are we going to see? This is something that came to my mind while watching this. Is like, are we going to see a double turn? And by double turn, I mean, so are we going to get a... there's so many things. I'll just say this. Are we going to get something where Adam Cole turns on Jay White and he becomes the leader of the Bullet Club? Or are we going to get a return in Kenny Omega who somehow becomes the leader of the Bullet Club again? I don't know. Mind you, this is just speculation. This isn't something that's been reported or anything. This is just something that's, crossed my mind. Like, is something like that going to transpire? Or are we just going to get one big faction, one big Bullet Club group that's in different companies that just takes over? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm really interested with that. We get a backstage segment with Jericho Appreciation Society. Security's not letting them in. Jericho's like, hey, you know who I am. I run this place. And security's just not letting them in, whatever. So Daniel Garcia gets in. He's basically saying, I'm going to beat Eddie Kingston. I'm going to show, what we're about. I'm a sports entertainer, so I can handle this. Like, yeah, go ahead. Then we get a backstage segment with Hook and Danhausen. And this was pretty funny. And this was the first time we actually heard Hook speak. Danhausen, as Hook is talking to the reporter, they look like, what the hell? And Danhausen has this whole, you could say, section of a parking lot with nothing but chips broken. He's like, look, you can't eat chips. And Hook shoves Danhausen to the wall, and he looks at it and he's like, you got my attention? You got it. And just walks away. Very good by Hook. I know a lot of people think, it's cheesy. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? If you haven't seen Danhausen wrestle, he's pretty good and he's pretty funny. They might be doing this to bring out more of the personality of Hook. Which you kind of got to be careful because you don't want to bring out too much, which takes away from like the aura of less is more that's attracted so many people to the Hook character. That's like, oh my god, I love this guy. Like, this guy's just a badass. There's a fine line, so we'll see where this goes, but we know there's a match inevitable for the Hook and Danhausen. Then we get a match between, let me rephrase that. It wasn't a match. It was just a squash, basically what it was, between Lance Archer and Serpentico. Archer, during the squash, is mocking Wardlow, going like this. It was just quick 1, 2, 3. Serpentico, I hope he's okay, because he just got the piss beat out of him. Like, it was just like, yeah, you're not winning this. Like, it's like, you're not winning this. It was, it was like an old school, like 1990s squash match. If you guys Remember, like the squash matches on WWF Superstars and Heat, WCW Worldwide, WCW Pro, like those squash matches. It was just like, yeah, he just got his ass beat. Then we get a video hyping up the partnership of Mark Sterling and Tony Nese, and it was a pretty good video package highlighting who Tony Nese is. Mark Sterling is just hyping him up, and he's going to do big things. So we'll see where that goes. I would like to see Mark Sterling, every person that he's operating with, become like this super faction. Because we've seen him do some things on the indies with Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, and Chelsea Green. Like, if there's some way they can bring this together, especially with the multiverse of matches, the Super Show, and all these things. Like, if they can do that, Mark Sterling, I think WWE, AEW is like really underutilizing Mark Sterling as a manager. Like, he's got some stuff in him. Like, you might want to start using him more as far as, a manager. You got to utilize him. I would say he's not to the level of Malcolm Bivens in NXT, but he's close enough where it's like, if there was an opposite of Malcolm Bivens, that's Mark Sterling. And I think that AEW, that's one thing that they're really underutilizing in their company, is Mark Sterling as a manager. Like, you can do some special things with him. He's very entertaining, but they could do more with him. From there, we get the Daniel Garcia, Eddie Kingston match. This was a little less toned down than the match that they had a few months ago, where it was just like they were hitting the hell out of each other. And I believe that was a few months ago that they were wrestling on Rampage a few times. And one thing that's consistent with the last match they had, they were slapping the hell out of each other. There was a bunch of sharpshooters, a lot of enziguri kicks, but it was okay, but it was very tame compared to their last match. Eddie Kingston wins with a spinning back fist, and he gets on the mic and he just tells Jericho, "This is a warning. What I'm going to do to you." Walks away. That's the match. Then we get a backstage interview with Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee with Tony Schiavone. Keith Lee's like, you know what? We had this match won if it wasn't for Taz interfering. Swerve Strickland's like, you know what? There's going to be blood. Freaking Ricky Starks with the line of the night on AEW Rampage, and I will say the line of the night on SmackDown also. Just the line of the night in professional wrestling. Him and Hobbs, oh my God, they have so much freaking chemistry. I've been saying it for those of you who've subscribed to my channel and you've been following my reviews with Rampage and Dynamite, and what I've said about Swerve Strickland, Keith Lee, Ricky Starks, and Powerhouse Hobbs. They all have tremendous chemistry together. Ricky Starks, he looks at Hobbs like this, and then he looks in the camera. He's like, you know what? You broke ass Keenan and Kel. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm like, that is funny. Like, wow, that is hilarious. So we're probably going to get another match of that. I hope it's a singles match, where it's, Hobbs versus Ricky Starks, or we get another Ricky Starks, Swerve Strickland. We get a Powerhouse Hobbs, Keith Lee match. That I don't mind running back, because when you have four guys that have this amount of chemistry and personality and charisma, and the fans are behind all four of them, you can't do anything wrong if you do it where less is more, where you're not having them wrestle each other constantly, but sporadically, you can do some good things. So I'm looking forward to that. Then we get a backstage segment with Britt, Jamie, Hayter, and Toni Storm. These are the 3 women that have qualified for the Owen Hart Women's Tournament. Basically, Britt Baker's like myself and Jamie Hayter are the obvious favorites to win this tournament. Toni Storm's like, oh, okay. Like, let's see if she looks at Jamie Hayter. She's like, yeah, I'll see you, in the first round. And looks at Britt and like, yeah, I'll see you if you make it. It's like, ooh, shots fired. Looking forward to that tournament. I wish there was a little bit more, I'm not going to use the word emphasis, but a little bit more creativity for the women's division. Because you have personality and you can do some things with them. I've always said that they should incorporate the women in the men's factions. That way, you have them on TV in every segment. Therefore, it gives you a reason, a logical reason, and it gives the viewer a reason like, okay, these women are eventually going to fight. So you set them up to fight where, like right now, they have stories, but it's almost like they feel like they're an island unto themselves. And it's like, you got too much talent for that to be that way. Like, you need to put them with some factions where it's like, okay, this fits. Then we get an FTR video, and they're basically hyping up their match on Dynamite. It's going to be Cash Wheeler versus Dax Harwood, 1-on-1. Winner qualifies for the Owen Hart men's tournament. That should be fun. Then we go to the main event, Jade Cargill and Marina Shafir. One thing I noticed about this match, and comment below if you noticed the same thing. I don't know if it was just me, but it seemed like they changed Marina Shafir's music. This theme had a violin, and her first theme had a piano. And it was like, man, this is a different thing. Like, this is actually tolerable. Like, oh, okay, this is decent. This match, it started off slow. It wasn't, I'm not going to say it was bad or just, it was just horrible, clunky. No. It started off slow, and as the match got on, and of course, there was a few spots outside where Jade Cargill used the baddie section to beat down Marina Shafir. There was a spot where she chokeslammed her onto a table, and her head like kind of bounced. It was like, ooh, okay. There was a few spots where Marina Shafir countered. What I liked about this match was that Marina Shafir, with her background in judo and everything, she was attacking Jade Cargill's legs. And she was constantly putting her in an ankle lock, working her knee, her shin, and everything. I was like, ooh, this is pretty good. And this, I will say, this was Jade Cargill's best match so far. Marina Shafir came across as a legitimate threat. Early on, she didn't, but as the match went on, it was like, man, Marina Shafir should win this match against Jade. There was a lot of power spots. What I also liked about this match was Jade Cargill's character, you could say, was power, and Marina Shafir's character was speed and technique, and there was a strategy to it. And granted, it wasn't the smoothest strategy, but as the match went on, you just saw how it worked and everything. I wouldn't mind seeing this match again. It was a fun match. As the match went on, again, like I said, this was Jade Cargill's best match so far. She's 30-0 now. I like that she has the baddie section with Red Velvet and Kiera Hogan. Red Velvet got some shots in on Marina Shafir, so eventually that will lead to a match somewhere on a Rampage or Dynamite. But man, Jade Cargill, she wins with her finisher. 1, 2, 3. Balloons come down and everything. But yeah, this episode of Rampage, I wouldn't say it was the worst or oh my god, it was terrible. It was okay. It was, look, I'll repeat what I said at the beginning of this video. If you were watching the Milwaukee Bucks and the Chicago Bulls game, and that game was a blowout in the second quarter, and by that time, Rampage was starting, this was the perfect program to change from that game and watch wrestling. I did it, and I know many other people did it. And I know one of my colleagues, Kyle Means, he's like, thank God it's starting. Oh my God, that game was horrible. But yeah, this was a fun show. It did plant some seeds of, okay, what's going to happen with Adam Cole and Jay White? Where is this going to go? It did plant the seeds of what's going to happen with Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland, Ricky Starks, and Hobbs. Where's that feud going to go? When is Hobbs, Hook, and Danhausen going to wrestle? What else? Of course, the Daniel Garcia and Eddie Kingston, just adding more to that story. So it did its job. It wasn't to the level that we are accustomed to on Dynamite and probably previous Rampages, but it was very simple, basic, and just, okay, here you go, boom. And just, I've always said, like, when us as wrestling fans, we start asking questions and not questioning why they did things, or start asking questions like, man, what's going to happen with Jay White? What's going to happen with, Swerve Strickland, Keith Lee, Ricky Starks, and Powerhouse Hobbs? Man, when is Hook and Danhausen going to wrestle? Those are questions. When you're questioning, why did they have this? Why did they have this person come out? Why did they end it this, like, why did they end it like this? Why did they have, why didn't they do this instead of this? That's the difference. And this was just very basic, setting up for next Wednesday's Dynamite. And it was a fun show. I enjoyed it. I do want to see I am going to watch the Adam Cole Ishii match again, the Jade Cargill Marina Shafir match again. Marina Shafir, I'll finish with this. Marina Shafir, this was a better match than her first match. Her look, her presentation, her expressions as far as firing up and getting angry at Jade Cargill. They got something here with, like, she's a cool addition. I would like to see her face Serena Deeb or even tag with Serena Deeb. What's going to happen, with Ring of Honor and the women's division and stuff like that, and just how that's going to play. But man, they got a solid piece with Marina Shafir. Like, she's a solid wrestler. Really good, but this was a lot better than her first match. And kudos to her and Jade Cargill main eventing a Rampage, which was really cool. Hopefully, this leads to more main events for the women's division and more creativity being done with the AEW women's division. But yeah, this was fun. Dynamite, I enjoyed it. I recommend this Dynamite if you just want to, catch up on, AEW, or just, hey, it's a quick 1 hour. Let me see this match. Boom. That's what it was. If you're looking for something deep and detailed and, oh man, oh my God, there's just so many, like, this wasn't the show, but this was something that, man, if you just want quick wrestling, real quick, boom, this was it. But yeah, this was my review for AEW Rampage for April 22nd. I forgot. I've been doing all these reviews. Forgive me, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Follow House Wrestling on all social media platforms. Follow me, Dedrian180, on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And like I always in all my videos, there's so much wrestling going on with so many good things. Shout out, not going to forget this. Shout out to Cody Rhodes, what he did to the fan who lost their uncle and their nephew, wanted to go to Dynamite. In spite of Cody Rhodes working for WWE, he was able to help that fan out, get some tickets for AEW Dynamite for his nephew. So that's cool. We need more of that, man. See, that's what I keep saying. Quit fighting and quit with the stupid tribalism and stuff like that. You got over 12 wrestling companies that if you don't like one, you have options. So again, stop fighting over wrestling. All right. With that, I'm out.